بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا. Welcome my brothers in Islam to lesson 141 of Arabiyyah to Bayna Yadayk, book 1, part 1 of the new version. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of us and to strengthen us and to give us the understanding of the Arabic language. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ease for us this lesson, all of us. وقفنا في الصفحة الثانية والثمانين. We stopped at the 82nd page of Arabiyyah to Bayna Yadayk. And I would like to start after having mentioned the derivements, mushtaqatu fi'li salla, the derivements of the verb salla. I would like to give here a tanbihun, a remark. Now, so we have gone through this derivements of Salla Yusalli, and the remark inshallah that I want to share with you, my brothers in Islam, is that the letters in the Arabic language are divided in two. You know, a verb, if somebody asks you anwa'u al-fi'li, what are the types of verb? What are the types of the verb? You will say definitely, I think, fi'lun madin, fi'lun mudari'un, fi'lu amrin, past tense verb, present tense verb, and the command verb, because that are the only verbs we have. But sometimes, if you look from another angle, there's another way of dividing the verb in to make categories in another when you look from another angle, because you will learn in the future inshallah that the verbs are two types, fi'lun lazimun and fi'lun muta'addin. Fi'lun lazimun, that's the verb that doesn't need an object, and muta'addin, that's the one that needs an object. So with the fi'lun muta'addin, you cannot stop unless you mention the object. Like I said, Khalidun hit, daraba Khalidun. What did he hit? Daraba Khalidun al-baba. Daraba Khalidun al-baba. So al-baba is very important to give a completion of the meaning. Ishtara Khalidun. Khalidun bought. Mada ishtara. What did he buy? You cannot stop there. I bought. If I say to you, I bought, and I walk away, you say, what did you buy? So you need a maf'ulun bihi. So this is fi'lun muta'addin. Likewise, when we talk about the letters, there are different. There are two types of letters. I'm not talking today about the sun letters and the moon letters, because that is something you will get inshallah later on in Arabiyyah to Bayna Yadayk inshallah. You will get a beautiful table where you find the 14 letters that are sun letters and the 14 letters that are moon letters. And when using L, what means the, if the letter is a sun letter, hurufun shamsiyatun, it shows that you are not allowed to pronounce the lam. So you say ash-shamsu, you don't say al-shamsu. And the way you can recognize this is the shadda on the letter after L. So ash-shamsu, what means the sun, has a shadda after the L. As-sadiqu, the friend, the sad has a shadda, so you're not allowed to pronounce the lam. Why do they call them sun letters? Do they have any relation with the sun? No relation at all. It's just because the sheen is one of those 14 letters, so they call them the sun letters. Shamsun is sun. Likewise, الحروف القمرية, الحروف الشمسية, الحروف القمرية, the moon letters or the lunar letters, also a list of 14 letters that inshallah we will go through inshallah in the future. And from those letters is the qaf, so they've called them qamar, الحروف القمرية, although they have no relation to the moon, so don't take it too serious, the word moon and sun. So like al-kitabu, you pronounce the lam of al-kitabu because the kaf is a moon letter, harfun qamariyun. Likewise the ba as well, al-babu, you don't say ab-babu because the ba has no shadda, say al-babu. But that's not the thing that I want to share with you today, my brothers in Islam. Today, inshallah, we're going to speak about the types of letters when you look from it from another angle. Okay, so focus with me, my brothers in Islam. تنبيه, remark. سنتكلم بعد قليل, sas for future tense. سنتكلم, we will speak. نتكلم, we speak, يعني now, الآن. سنتكلم في المستقبل, يعني in the future. في المستقبل القريب, in the short future, because the sin is for short future and سوف is used for far future. سنتكلم, we will speak. بعد, what means after, and بعد is always مضاف, look to the kasra after it. بعد قليل, after a bit. إن شاء الله, with the will of Allah. عن, عن means from and عن means about. Here it means about. عن means about. It's just like حول, about. What means around as well. حول has two meanings. But going back to عن, عن means from, and عن means about. So فإذا قلت, so if I say فإذا قلت البيت بعيد عن المسجد, the house is far from the masjid, and عن is a حرف جر, and how do we know? Look, أحرف becomes أحرفي. Okay, so the word harfun means letter, and it has two plural forms, hurufun with a waw and ahrufun. Why is it just one kasra here? We know it's a kasra because of an, but why not two kasras? Because ahrufi is mudafun and al-illati is mudafun ilayhi, because the of meaning. So translate it in one time, inshallah. We will speak after a bit, insha'Allah, about the letters of al-illa, the ill letters, or the weak letters. لكن قبل ذلك, but before that, ينبغي أن نعرف هذا الأمر. We have to know this affair, this matter, this issue. What is the issue? نقطتان, colon. نعرف, we know. ينبغي أن نعرف, we should know. هذا الأمر, this issue. حروف اللغة العربية, the letters of the Arabic language, 28 are 28. How many letters do we have in the Arabic language? 28. هل هذا اتفاق? Is this in agreement? هل هذا إجماع? Is this a consensus? أو هناك اختلاف? Or is there a difference of opinion, a dispute about the amount of letters? إذن 28 letters, 28 حرفا, 28 letters, وهي, and they are ألف, ba, I'm telling you them in the order not the previous, the old order. I'm not going to repeat everything, my brothers in Islam. Abjad house of, like I've mentioned to you, my brothers in Islam. I'm going to use the nowadays order, alphabetic order. حروف هجائية. What means حروف هجائية? It means alphabet. ألف, با, تا, tha. The tongue comes out with the tha. Otherwise, there is no difference between ta and tha. You have to feel the tongue out of the mouth, little bit. Tha, jim, ha, kha, dal, dhal, ra. This is zai. Some people say za, but after doing some research, the right way is saying zai. Sin, sheen, sad, dad, ta. And here many brothers from non-Arabic countries, new learners, they're making mistake between the ta and the ta. Dha, here's the tongue out. No tongue out, you go back to the dad. Now you have made two letters one. This is dad, tongue inside. Dad, the tongue goes either to the upper left or the upper right of the jaw, of the top left row of the teeth, or the top right. And it's you need to train yourself for the dad. But the dha, yes, the tongue comes out. Dha. Ain, this is the sharp one. And if I don't make it sharp, it will become a hamza. Ain. 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 Middle of the throat. Ain. Ghain. Fa. Qaf. Kaf. Lam. Mim. Noon. Ha. Waw. Ya. ومنهم من يعدها, and from them, I'm talking about the specialists in the Arabic language, not those who have no connection to the Arabic language. And from them, meaning the specialists in the Arabic language, من يعدها 29 حرفا. So from them, or from the scholars of the Arabic language, and from them are those who count them. يعد, he's counting. يعدها, who count them, يعني the حروف الهجائية, the alphabet, as 29 letters. 29 حرفا. So how many letters is the Arabic language? 28, and some say 29. فيزيد, so he adds عليها, he adds onto them الألف. فيزيد عليها الألف. So he adds the alif. He said the hamza is a letter and the alif is a letter. Okay, and others say no, it's just one. Okay, yani it's not that they say it's one. There is of course a difference between a hamza and an alif, because the alif is just stretching. Ba becomes ba. Okay, ta becomes ta. 1 second becomes 2. That's the role of the alif. As for the hamza, it's totally different, because the alif can have no dhamma, can have no kasra, and even can have no fatha. The alif is always sukun. I repeat, the alifun doesn't accept any haraka. So the alifun is always sakinun. Al-alifu da'iman sakinun. أو الألف دائما ساكنة, because the names of the letters are feminine. So the alif is always sukun. Does that mean that we have to draw a circle, a sukun on the alif? No, people normally don't do that. So if I write babun, I've stretched the fatha of the ba. I've made 1 second, 2 seconds. Babun. Should I write a sukun on the alif of babun? If you write it, I can definitely not say it's a mistake, okay? Because the alif is always sukun. But the only issue is that it's rare, because people don't do that normally, okay? It's rare. It's not done in the daily writing of the Arabs, Okay, so just leave it blank. Just draw the stick of the alif and don't put any haraka on it. Clear? Just like yaqulu, the waw has a sukoon, but the people don't write the sukoon on the waw. Qila, the people don't write a sukoon on the ya as well. طيب. As for the hamza, it can has all these harakat. Okay, a, u, e. Okay, and even also sukoon. Fa, sun. Fa, what's an X? Fa, sun. Fa'run. What is a mouse? Fa'run. Okay. Ya Isa. This is a hamza with a kasra. طيب. Like I said, so those scholars, they don't say that the hamza and the alif are one. Those who say that they're 28 don't think that they don't understand the Arabic properly. They don't say the alif and the hamza are one, but they just put both letters in one. They count both letters as one. Clear? So don't say, Akhi, the alphabetic letters are 29 because I don't understand why those other scholars said 28. How can they make this mistake? Do they see the alif and the hamza as one letter? No, they don't see them as one letter, but they just put them together in one. Okay? Why? Because the hamza mostly comes on an alif. The hamza mostly comes on an alif. Yes, sometimes the hamza comes on a waw. Okay? Sometimes the hamza comes on a waw. Okay? And sometimes the hamza comes on a kursi, on a chair. Sometimes the hamza comes on ala satri, on the line. So the hamza, it uses different shapes. But mostly, yes, it's on alif. So they said, you know what? They said, you know, they didn't say it, but this is actually the idea behind it. The alif and hamza are one letter. We count it as one letter. Clear? Anyway, so you can take one of the two opinions, inshallah. But brother in Islam, you told us that the letters are two types. Could you please tell us what are the two types of letters? Okay, you said that we will not talk about the two types of letters, the sun letters and the moon letters. That's another way of taqsim, of making the letters in two parts. Now, the way that we talk about today is this: جميع الحروف السابقة هي حروف صحيحة. All of the previous letters of the alphabet, they are حروف صحيحة. Okay, so the ba is حرف صحيح, it's a sound letter. Okay, the jim is a sound letter. حرف صحيح. Okay, all these letters are what? حروف صحيحة. So we have now the first type of letters. They are حروف صحيحة. Okay, ما عدا means except or except for. You see this phrase? ما عدا, except for. And the word after gets an alif, gets a fatha. The word after, the noun after ma'ada gets a fatha because it's maf'ulun bihi, and this is something you will study not in this book, not in the next book, not in the first green book, but later inshallah. So third or fourth book inshallah, I think. So ma'ada means except. You can say also illa, except. So all these letters are حروف صحيحة, sound letters. ما عدا, except for al-alif. Okay, this is the alif. The alif is not a sound letter. And when I say alif, it's both. Alifun mamdudatun, stick, and alifun maqsuratun, that looks like a ya. Wal waw, and the waw. والياء and the ya. Okay. So if I say that the Arabic alphabet letters are 29, okay, so we have 26 sound letters and we have 3 letters. How do you call them? فهي أحرف علة or حروف علة. These are the 2 namings of those 3 letters. Okay, so you say الألف حرف علة. حروف and أحرف, they're both plural of حرف, letter. So the ألف, واو and ياء, these 3 are all حروف علة. They are ill letters. They're weak letters. Okay. كما أن الألف المقصورة, likewise the ألف المقصورة, and that is this one, تعد حرف علة, is counted as حرف علة. So whether you're using the stick or the one that looks like a ya, they are called حروف علة. Okay. So الألف حرف علة, الواو حرف علة, الياء حرف علة أيضا. So they're all حروف علة. Okay. So what are the types of letters? Depending, are you asking me about the sun and moon letters, or you're asking about حروف صحيحة and حروف علة? Okay. Now, ويجب, it's compulsory. ويجب التنبه, it's compulsory for you to take into account and to be to take into account the difference بين between حرف الهمزة, between the letter همزة, what is حرف صحيح, وحرف الألف, and this is the alif. فالهمزة حرف صحيح, the hamza is a sound letter, okay. والألف حرف علة, and the alif is a weak letter. وعلى سبيل المثال, okay, and for example, فإن الفعل, فإن, so indeed, إن means indeed, فإن الفعل, the verb سأل, is called فعل صحيح. فعل صحيح. So you have حرف صحيح, okay, and you have حرف علة, يعني a weak letter and a sound letter, and when putting these letters in the verb, now we have 2 types of verbs. فعل صحيح is the verb that is free from any of the 3 weak letters, called فعل صحيح. This is another تقسيم of the verb, another way of making verbs in types. فعل صحيح, سأل is فعل صحيح because sin is حرف صحيح, همزة, because the hamza has taken over the alif, okay, it has like occupied the alif, the hamza has occupied the alif, so this is not the alif anymore, it's now hamza. سأل, so the hamza is حرف صحيح and the lam is also حرف صحيح, so this is now called فعل صحيح. Okay, لأن الهمزة حرف صحيح وليس في الفعل أي حرف علة. There is not in the verb any letter that is حرف علة, a weak letter. سأل فعل صحيح. أما الفعل سال. As for the verb سال, so سأل, he asked. سأل يسأل, he asked, he's asking. Another verb is سال يسيل. سال, سال الماء, the water flowed, the water streamed, he past tense. سال الماء, okay, the water run, streamed, flowed. سال يسيل. فهو فعل معتل. Aha. So the verb that has a حرف علة is called what? فعل معتل. Don't say فعل, so you know it's حرف علة, so I say فعل علة. No, there is no, they don't say, the scholars, they don't say فعل علة. They call it فعل معتل. It's a weak verb, an ill verb, because علة is an illness. Anyway, it's a weak or ill verb. Why? Because there is one حرف علة in it. That's this one. You see? وهذه الأحرف الثلاثة, and these three letters ألف واو يا تعد أحرف علة. They are, يعني like I said, they are counted as أحرف علة. There are only three, ألف واو and يا. سواء كانت ساكنة, whether they have a سكون, and ألف always have سكون, but I'm talking about the يا and the واو, أم متحركة, or they are متحركة, meaning having a حركة. And the حركة are only three, فتحة, كسرة, and ضمة. The سكون is no حركة. Clear? The سكون is شكل but not حركة. So whether it has a سكون or حركة, when it comes in a verb, one of these three letters, whether with سكون, whether without سكون. So when I say سكون, they're stretching normally. باب يقول قيل, they're stretching normally with سكون. But not always, like قول. قول is not stretching because there is no dam on the qaf. Anyway, when you see the alif or waw or ya in a verb, past tense, present tense, command verb, you will say this is فعل معتل, where it's فعل ماض مضارع أمر. Okay, مثل, like مثل دعا, like the verb دعا, he supplicated. دعا, this is what? فعل معتل. It's فعل ماض, he supplicated, because the present tense is يدعو, but at the same time it's فعل معتل. وقف, هل هذا فعل صحيح أم معتل؟ هذا فعل معتل. لماذا؟ بسبب الواو, because of the واو. وقف. والواو مفتوحة, the واو has a فتحة. يقول, يقول, هذا فعل معتل, فعل مضارع معتل. This is present tense verb that is معتل. Why? Because of the واو. لماذا? Why? بسبب الواو, because of the واو. قيل, وقف, he stood or he stopped. وقف يقف. قال يقول, he said, he says. قيل, it has been said. What's قيل? It has been said. قيل أن قيل أن مكة كبيرة. It has been said that Mecca is big. قيل أن المدينة حارة. It has been said that المدينة is hot. رضي. Here, you see, in this situation, قيل, the ya has a sukun. But like I said, we don't write the sukun on the alif, waw, ya. It's not a mistake, but not common. But here, رضي, we find a clear fatha on the ya. رضي. He was pleased. رضي الله عنه. رضي, he was pleased. يرضى, he is pleased. So رضي فعل ماض معتل. Why? Because it has a حرف علة, although it has a fatha there. والألف دائما ساكنة. The alif has always sukun, as I've mentioned. How about, for example, انظر and استمع. Look to the page. انظر. Here you say, but why is this alif with the dhamma? انظر. أخي, that's not a dhamma. This is hamzatul wasli. Because this is not the alif. It's not the alif, انظر. Because the alif can never come in the beginning of the word. The alif is there for one reason. Stretching a letter with the fatha before it. باب. كتاب. Stretching the top. So انظر is hamzatul wasli. And استمع with the kasra below the hamza is also hamzatul wasli and not an alif. Clear? So alif دائما ساكنة. It's always sukun. وحركة ما قبلها الفتحة. And the حركة before the alif is always فتحة. دائما. Always. دائما. لأن حركة الفتحة تناسب الألف, because the haraka of the fatha suits the alif. The fatha goes with alif. كما في, like in نام, he slept. ووعى, and the verb وعى, wa means and, so we don't count it as a part of the verb. وعى is like فهم, he understood. وعى خالد الدرس, Khalid understood the lesson. فإن كانت ساكنة, okay, inshallah, we will continue in the next class, I think. Let me double check the time, inshallah. طيب, فإن كانت ساكنة وما قبلها مفتوح فإنها تسمى أحرف اللين أيضا. I will explain this inshallah in the next class. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.